What a day!
You guys have a good time?
Yeah.
Awesome!
Recreation is an essential part of anybody's life. It provides an opportunity to socialize with others who are interested in the same type of activity. It's a way to learn from each other, to develop team skills and self-confidence. It's a never-ending array of learning.
Raise your hand if you tried something new today. Oh, yeah.
But at the same time having lots and lots of fun. And to exclude kids with disabilities from that area, it just robs them of a great area that everybody else is experiencing. Here at the Boys and Girls Club of Lawrence, we're serving over 3,000 of the neediest children of our community. When I first started working here at the Boys and Girls Club, I had a very strong feeling that this should be a club for all kids, regardless of their background and if they had to deal with some disability issues.
We teamed up with the Lawrence Boys and Girls Club 5 years ago with fundings through the New Balance Foundation to start an outdoor recreational program for teenagers.
The directors came to us with this idea and they talked about integration and about getting all of these kids moving and removing barriers, and we believed in that.
We do a lot of adventure-based counseling. We like the activities, but really we're about building self-esteem, about building social success.
At first, I was kind of shy still, but I left the day with a positive attitude and I was very comfortable with everybody.
Yeah, I never did none of this kind of stuff, and it was my first experience and it was really good.
The most rewarding thing for us is to see all of these kids active and having so much fun.
It's not about how good you are, but it's about doing it and trying it, working together and taking enjoyment in one another.
At the Art Group Greater Lawrence, we work with families who have kids with developmental disabilities, and we seek to work with them to help them become part of the community throughout their life cycle. So as much at an early age, we can start exposing them to getting outside the house and trying new adventures, making friendships with people of their own age who are not disabled. They're going to be more ready for adulthood. So it made sense to expand the collaboration to include younger groups.
With the new funding from the U.S. Department of Education, we're now able to provide access to children with disabilities to programs and activities that we have been providing here at the club for a very long time.
I walk in every day and I look around and I see lots of colors and a lot of things, and I rack my brain for something focused to do. In the end, it usually ends up being a project of their own. I think that arts and crafts is a great way to bridge the differences that some of the students come in with, because it's visual, it's tactile, it's kinesthetic. They're moving around and they're sharing things. That's something that they all share, is this interest for the vibrancy of colors and to be able to walk around not having to feel like they're sitting down being told to be quiet. Any child can relate to being able to be free in this space.
There are a number of reasons why kids with developmental disabilities don't participate in community activities. First, they need staff that can be with them to understand them and support them.
My son was on the autism spectrum, so I've looked everywhere in my community for resources and I couldn't find anything.
They're also often leery of being with peers who may not accept them as they are. Also, their parents are leery about exposing them to situations where they may fail. And lastly, often the cost of these activities is prohibitive to families.
We are low income and unable to afford any programs for him. He likes it a lot, especially the swimming, because he's able to interact with other kids his age.
With swimming, it's kind of a way to show that you can still do the same things and play the same sports and participate in the same activities, not having a disability or having a disability. Sometimes I'm in the water with them doing lesson stuff. At other times, it's more of a social aspect that kids come here to just interact.
Well, there is one kid, well, there's two actually. They always want to be with me because they think I'm fun to be around with, and because I encourage them a lot and help them out.
Shooting a basketball around in the water, you're still using your muscles and having a conversation with somebody.
I notice when he's there, he enjoys himself as much as the others.
Before we started the actual program activities, it was very clear to us that we needed to provide staff training, because our staff were really not equipped to deal with children with disabilities.
Some people don't get the disability, so they think they're just a bad manner kid. I would like first that the teacher knows about disabilities, that all the kids cannot learn at the same pace, and how they can learn with different methods.
At the very beginning of the program, our staff went to the Lawrence Boys and Girls Club and trained the staff and their kids there on how to work with and understand kids with developmental disabilities, and we're still part of that team.
What I like about teaching computers is to be able to just show the basic to the kids, just to see them explore their minds and their computers and just to be creative themselves. That's rewarding.
Percussion is probably one of the easiest instruments to connect with. It's very visceral, it's physical. In one single class, a student can already come up with a beat and can already, as an ensemble, put a song together. So it's not only for the reason of playing percussion per se, but also experiencing playing percussion as a team.
What I love about drumming is you express yourself in different ways. Just seeing how the emotion in the room changes, how everybody's just up and moving, having fun.
And sometimes he says, who wants to direct the bands? So the kids get the thrill of being the director.
It's good for the club because the club kids are going to work as their leadership skills, and the kids with learning disabilities have a chance to interact with other kids and work with their social skills as well.
So there's a couple different purposes to the program. One of the most important purposes is to provide recreational opportunities for kids with disabilities, to have them be less isolated in their communities. What I'm looking at is, do their behaviors change at home as a result of them participating in an inclusive recreation program?
What impresses me the most is that he's able to interact with other kids and get to know them. As a child with autism, he can have more contact and socialize with other kids.
He feels more confident, and I know he's maturing and he's getting some skills that maybe I thought he couldn't develop, but he has. That's a good feeling for him and for me.
Then there's the kids without disabilities in the class. We wanted to see if their attitudes changed. If by taking part in the class, they could become more compassionate towards people with disabilities.
I'm gonna tell the truth, like before, but really I didn't feel as comfortable. But like now, like it teaches you, oh, they're all the same. You don't have to feel uncomfortable around them. This helps you be more open to people. You could still go up to them and say hi or greet them.
And then there's the staff. Does their attitude towards people with disability change as a result of the program?
I think it has certainly improved their ability to provide activities, not only with regard to helping kids with disabilities, but I think it might have also helped them in dealing with a generic population, just understanding more about how kids process information.
Before I would get nervous and maybe baby more than instruct.
I thought I was going to encounter problems explaining to them. I would try to explain a couple of times to the kids and they'll be like, I already know what I'm doing.
Oh, I learned so much in this class. I am a totally different teacher. My biggest voila day was when I realized the material can be more or less the same, just with a different kind of approach.
I hope that they're not thinking about the fact that this is an inclusive space, that it becomes so natural to them that no group sees the other as other.
I do lots of surveys, and it's interesting to get the quantitative data because you get numbers. But it's also interesting to get the qualitative data because that's where you get the richness of what's really going on. Somebody might say to you,
today I learned that it's not bad to be friends with people who have disability.
And that's amazing. That's what's really great.
When you meet these new kids, make bonds with them. You want to be the friends with them.
It's not different as talking to anybody else. To me, it's just easy and just being myself.
It's not hard at all.
It's pretty amazing to see that sometimes our kids grossly underestimate the abilities of the kids from art. And I think it has opened some eyes in a lot of ways, realizing that they're quite capable in participating in a variety of activities that we're offering here.
So I don't think it matters what activities you offer. What's more important is that you offer a wide range of activities that kids can choose from and that they want to do.
And it should be activities that could be done in small groups.
All these programs are really good that they have to do with their hands instead of just learning math or something. You know, sometimes it can be successful at a different topic. It's not like you get an E or an F or an A that you can feel good or bad about it. It's just like you're doing it because it feels good.
It's a fun atmosphere, it's success-oriented.
He likes going there. Sometimes that's half the battle.
I really would like to grow the program. Maybe we could offer a wider variety of activities. Ultimately, our goal should be to allow kids with disabilities to join as generic members, that would be ideal.
I think if parents can get past their fear and accept the fact that their kids can be successful in trying out new experiences, new adventures with new kids, and it's a positive experience, it's good for the whole family.